around you now.
What's up guys, Magic Matrix back again with another video, and for today's trick I will be using the 4 queens, but before I go any further, I would have you shuffle up the deck to make sure the cards were all mixed up, and once you were satisfied with the order of the cards, I would have you select one. So let's say for instance, you were to choose this card right here. I would not look at it, I would just show you, so please remember this card and I will turn away. And now that you have that card in mind, I would have you select either the 2 black queens or the 2 red queens. Let's say in this case you chose the 2 red queens. What I would have you do is take your selection and we would just sandwich it in between the 2 red queens like this. I'll place those cards over here for now. And what I want to do is get the 2 red queens in your card lost somewhere in the deck. So I'll take them right here and we'll just go ahead and bury them somewhere in the middle. I have no idea where they are. Now with the remaining half of the deck here on the table and the 2 black queens that you left me, I'm going to try to do something really cool. You can see there's nothing in between the 2 black queens right now. But if I flip them over, I can create the illusion that your card jumps in between them. You can see the 9 of spades is now in between the 2 black queens. But like I said, it's all an illusion. Because if I flip the queens back over, you'll see there was never a card in between them. And the reason for that is because all along, your card was sandwiched here in the middle of the deck between the 2 red queens. That is the trick guys, and if you want to learn it, be sure to stick around for the tutorial. Alright guys, let's get into the tutorial for the trick you just saw. This is a really fun one known as the visitor's card trick, and it's a great illusion that the spectator's card jumps. Now you can already have the 4 queens laid out on the table like you see here, or you can have them mixed into the deck and take them out after the spectator shuffles. But I like to have them already out because if you have to take them out of the deck after the spectator shuffles, it might seem like you're mixing up the order of the cards and setting things up. So I think this way is just more smooth, but you can do whatever you want, and regardless of what you choose, the spectator does get to shuffle the deck in any way that they would like. It really does not matter. And once they are satisfied with the order of the cards, they can pick a card. This is a free choice, no force going on, they really get any card they want. So let's say for instance, they were to choose this card here. You would not look at the card, you would just show them, but in this case you can see we have the King of Clubs. Now this card would be face down on the table or in the spectator's hand, and you would allow them to then pick either the 2 black queens or the 2 red queens. I'll pick the 2 red queens in this case, but obviously the spectator could pick any 2 that they want. Now while the spectator is choosing their queens, you're going to be doing a push-off pinky break. And basically what that is you take your thumb on the top card, push it over, lever it with your middle and ring finger, pull back, and stick your pinky under the card, getting a break. So again, push over the top card with your thumb, lever it with your middle and ring, pull back, and get a break under the top card just like this. Now when you have your break and they've picked their queen, so in this case the 2 red queens, you'll take them and place them on top of the deck, so now you have a break under 3 cards. Now you'll tell the spectator that you want them to place their card in between the 2 queens, so you'll lift up just like this, so now you have 3 cards in your hand. You'll peel off the top queen and you'll hold it with your thumb and middle and ring finger on the back. You're holding a double in this hand, one of the queens, and a random card, so make sure to keep this square. And you'll have them place this card in between the 2 queens. Now obviously I have to use my own hand to put this in between, but in the performance the spectator would do this. They'd place their card just like that on top of this queen, and then you'd bring this queen on top. But you're not going to just lay it down flat. You're going to keep a break, a thumb break, between these 2 cards and these 2 cards. So when you come to place it on top, you're going to leave a break in between this double and then the queen and the selection. So now when you say you're going to place the queens in their card on the table and you square up, you're going to drop off this bottom queen and the selection on the top of the deck. And because you have a break, you'll come away with only 2 cards, the queen and that random card. You place them on the table like this. They think the 2 queens are here with their card, when really you dropped off their card and 1 queen on the top of the deck. So now you'll get into how you want to get those cards lost somewhere in the middle. You'll break the cards roughly in half and leave half next to whatever 2 queens are here on the table. You'll pick up these 2 cards and don't separate them like I just did. Make sure to keep them square because you don't want the spectator to see that you only have 2 cards. You'll place them on top of the deck like this, and then you'll be doing a double undercut. You'll lift up on the top queen and get a thumb break like this, and then you'll take half the cards from under your break, bring them to the top, then take the other half and bring those cards to the top. So now to the spectator, it looks like you lost their card and the queens in the middle, when really you just left that 1 queen on the bottom. So keep these cards square and place them off to the side. And now you'll get back to this half of the deck. Now while you're explaining how you're going to do something with the 2 queens left from the table in this half, you'll be riffling up the back of the cards and getting a break under the top 2 cards. So that face-up queen and their selection. After you have this break, you'll pick up the 2 queens on the table and place them on top. So now you have a break under 4 cards. You can take off this queen so there's nothing in between them, and then you'll flip over this 4-card packet as 1. To the spectator, it looks like you only flipped over the 2 queens. Now you'll say you can make the illusion that the spectator's card jumped in between the queens. You'll spread off the top card, spread off their selection, in this case the king of clubs, and spread off the 3rd card. You'll take these 3 cards away, and you'll get into showing them that it's really in between the queens. Now, if I just flip the cards over like this, you'll see that we actually have 1 black queen and 1 red queen, and the card should be in between 2 black queens. So how do we make it look like that? Well, before you flip the cards over, what you want to do is push this top card here, which is the wrong colored queen, against the selection, like this. So now when you flip it over, they only see 1 black queen. Now, you might be thinking, well, it's only showing 1 black queen, where's the other one, won't they notice? Well, if you do this fast, just showing it's in between the 2 black queens, showing the card again, maybe do it a 2nd time, they don't really notice this because they see 3 cards and they know that it's supposed to be in between the 2 black queens. So trust me guys, they won't really notice this, especially if you're doing it fast and casually and just showing it's in between the 2 black queens. So do this once or twice. Don't do it more than that because it might seem suspicious after a while. And while you're doing this, you're going to do another push-off pinky break. So push off the top card, lever with middle and ring finger, stick your pinky under it, get a break. Now you have your break. You'll take these 3 cards, put them on top of your breaks. Now you again have a break under 4 cards. And you say it was all an illusion, the card was never really in between the 2 black queens. You'll flip over the 4 cards again, just like this. You'll spread off the top queens and show there's nothing in between them. And don't spread any further because you don't want to expose this red queen here. You can place the 2 queens on the table and the spectator could examine them to see if there's really nothing in between them. And if you look, you'll see that we now have 1 red queen in the spectator's card here, and on this half of the deck, on the bottom, we have the other red queen. So this next part of the trick would make sense now that you see this, because if we pick up these cards here and place them on top of these cards, it's going to place the 2 red queens on top and under the selection. So now, when we spread the cards out, it looks to the spectator like the card was never really in between the 2 black queens, and that it was always in between the 2 red queens. So that's the trick, guys. It's a really fun one. It gets great reactions. I definitely recommend adding it to your list of magic tricks. But that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.